Okay. You ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see what happens.
Oh no. So I'm excited to see how they handle this whole memory thing. This
Yeah,
whole him getting sent to Earth thing. Also, love Battle Cat, love Cringer right now.
yeah.
Ah, there he is.
Oh,
I'm just want to see how they're gonna handle it.
yeah. I have concerns.
I think they do a great job, visually at least, of like the technology and like the barbarian kind of stuff.
Just wish Jared Leto wasn't in it.
All right.
Come on,
Say the
baby.
thing, say the thing. The thing.
Help, help.
All right. See the tech and the low tech. It works with me. It works for me.
Yeah, I
Bang.
just want Battle Cat.
I know how to use it. Oh my God.
Um, I at first I was like, I don't know if I have a dog in this hunt,
Hmm.
especially because you know how I feel about Jared Leto. Like literally everything he's been a part of in the last few years, I'm just like, y'all couldn't have found anybody else. Anybody. I was so hyped when this first came out, and then they were like, and Jared Leto as Skeletor, and I was like, that being said, if this gets the combo pack of how they approach Mortal Kombat and the Monsterverse of where they acknowledge the cheesiness, they lean into the cheesiness, but it's also grounded in actual real human emotions and portrayal,
Hmm.
I might be in. Because that one scene where he looks like he's about to start crying and I felt it. I felt that moment, even in the trailer. So I don't know. I don't know.
It's yeah, because um, both of your examples, it took a little while. For Mortal Kombat, I felt like it didn't find its audience, even though I loved what they did with it, which is just take it a tiny bit more seriously, but not too seriously. Like
Mhm.
still have fun with it. I think the same. What's your second example? Um, oh,
Monsterverse.
the MonsterVerse, right? It took several movies before I felt like I bought it. Um, and so it'll be interesting to see, if this is a franchise thing, if this is a nostalgia thing. I think it's crazy that we're making a He-Man movie right now because this is one franchise in particular where I'm like, this is just for us. This is just for 80s
Yep.
babies. Like I
Yep.
don't know anyone with kids who like grew up playing with He-Man. Every time I see He-Man toys in like Target or wherever for the last 25 years, it has been targeted at people who remember playing He-Man when they were kids. And that's
Yep.
us, and we're 50 now. So
Yeah.
it is amazing
Yes.
the amount of like, nostalgia they're willing to crank out. I just found myself thinking with this, like, it's got to be so tricky, right? Like you have to balance being making it realistic enough that it's not like that corny 80s movie because I've when I'm doing work I'll put YouTube right here on the other screen and just kind of watch 80s TV shows and they're all bad, Belle. They're all terrible. Like it's embarrassing almost to watch old episodes of Transformers and He-Man. And it hurts my heart to say that, and I'll still watch them because of nostalgia. But I was watching like Pole Position, GI Joe, um,
And
and
my
and
dude.
and and they're so bad. So you make a movie that's like really serious, and it's almost like it might lose the charm of how
Yeah.
also He-Man was cool, but He-Man was also kind of silly. He-Man taught morality lessons in every single episode. He-Man, was. So I feel like, man, how tricky is it to make a He-Man movie be serious so that people want to go see it, but not so serious that you lose the fact that this was a whimsical show, just like Thundercats, Silverhawk, like all the
Era.
Mask, all the '80s shows, like incorporate we're light on violence because they had to be, and so like how do you make an action movie that works around all of that? And so far, every trailer I've seen has felt like they're figuring it out. It almost makes me feel like, will there be any surprises? Will there be anything that's like truly interesting? Or are they playing this so middle of the road because it's the only place this movie can exist? I don't know, but I'm kind of still here for it. It just looks really good and it looks really fun and like, yeah, I
It looks wonderfully fun.
mhm.
Um, Idris Elba is just collecting franchises like Infinity Stones.
Hit.
Um, but one of the things I also, when you said that, it actually made me think about the adaptations or the updates that have worked, like Voltron and the She-Ra show, and the ones that didn't, like Thundercats. And Voltron and She-Ra, the updated animated versions of those shows worked because they leaned in while still giving us action and really well written plots, but they also leaned into the original nostalgia of the original feeling of the original shows. Whereas with Thundercats, like everything was there that it should have worked,
Mhm.
and it never drew me in at any point. I kept trying. I think I watched like 3 episodes and I was like, no. I think if they find the balance that Shira found, if they find the balance that Voltron especially, even though it was animated, but it really really was the blueprint for if you're bringing something from this time period from the 80s into now,
Mhm.
that it found the way to make it so that like the kids who love anime, like Armand is constantly saying, his kids are not interested in comic books, but they love anime and they love mangas. And so it was something where if my kid loves anime and mangas, I could sit down and watch Voltron with them and still enjoy it because the characters still felt true to who they were when I first watched that show, but it also had that same feel of me watching, you know, Naruto or Cowboy Bebop. It still had that feel about it. And if they find that balance in live action, this could actually be a franchise. We could get the whole crew back. We could get Shira. We could get the spinoff to the Thundercats, because they were kind of all, not technically they weren't connected, but they all were kind of connected. I don't
Mhm.
know if that was ever, I know in the comic books they were, but I don't know if it was ever official in the actual TV series that those characters were all connected and they were all part of the same galaxy. But I know that they were like the Silverhearts, the Thundercats, the He-Man and She-Ra were all in the same galaxy. So I am cautiously optimistic, and as long as Leto stays underneath the mask and I don't have to see his face,
It's
which
more
is
been time. It,
it doesn't even sound like him either, which also helps.
you know. Look, I'm here for Allison Brie. Uh,
That
she's
was genius casting. Okay.
I mean, if that's the
Wow.
first, I felt like that was the first like casting announcement we got, and I don't even think it was a real costume that was going around, but it didn't matter because we were all just like yes, all right, Allison Brie done. Like it's kind of the perfect pairing, because she's such a good actor.
Hmm.
She can be hammy in such a fun way where you're like she's overacting and yet I'm buying it and like
Yeah.
I'm totally sold. She would do that in Community at like the drop of a hat, just like
Yeah.
this, just immediate, twitch. The Christmas Glee Club episode in particular, where like she is
Poopy
just running
poopy
it, like
baby
she's
poopy wop woo.
um so she's got the chops for that. I haven't seen her in this kind of a role, but I feel like, she may do a little winking at the audience, but I'm perfectly fine with that.
See, I just recently saw her and Dave Franco in a horror movie together, and man, I'm going to beat myself up that I cannot remember the name of it. And that movie was terrifying.
Hmm.
And
All right.
she was phenomenal in it. It was about toxic codependent relationships, and honey, it was bad. It was real scary, and she was scary in it. And so she is very good about that switch. I think it was really obvious on Glow how good she is of that her dramatic range and her ability to switch from she can be menacing, and that show really took advantage of that. So I can see her being. It kind of reminds me of when Sarah Michelle Gellar was cast as the seventh sister on oh Lord, on Clone Wars and on Star Wars Rebels. And people were like, I don't know. And I was like, I do. She will be able to pull this off because the Seventh Sister is a character that is freaking terrifying.
Mhm.
And it's the same vibe, right? Sarah Michelle Gellar and Alison Brie have a very similar vibe in that they can go from sweet and innocent and kind to I will rip your heart out and eat it in front of you. And it's like, I need that. You need that for Evil Lynn. You need to see how she could, potentially seduce, Eric. Is Eric, right? It's been so long. Eric is his actual name, not He Man, right?
Adam, Prince
Damn,
Adam.
I don't know where I got Eric.
Man, I was frozen for a second. Like I know this.
Yeah,
Um, Prince Adam.
it's Adam, right? Because it's Prince Adam and Princess Allura, right? So I don't like I said, Shira was my jam. Thundercats was my jam. Um, there was an animated He-Man that came out a few years back. I never really watched it because I was never drawn to He-Man as a character as I was She-Ra. But I'm willing to kind of like go back and give that a try and see if I'd like it. Um, I'm here to see what happens. Hopefully the reviews are as good as it looks. Because if the review because it looks amazing and I am one of those people who loves a steampunk, a high low tech vibe. I love steampunk. I love that combination of sort of modern technology with also medieval weapons. I don't know why, but I just that is very much my aesthetic as a person. I
Hmm.
love that so much. Um uh and so I am loving that vibe that we get in the trailer of that. I'm cautiously optimistic.
Yeah.
That's the best I can do right now. So, on that note, guys, this is Belle Pop Culture Uncovered. You can find us at PC Uncovered on Instagram and Threads, popcultureuncovered.com, Pop Culture Uncovered on Facebook and Patreon and YouTube, where new videos, new declassifieds. Armand and I did a very deep dive recently into the fall of comicsology and the slow death that was, and how we still haven't quite recovered from that uh, in this digital age. There are people who probably don't even remember comicsology watching this, and you're going to be real mad when you find out how good it was and how much
Hmm.
you missed out on how having comicsology around. Um, so join us over there on Patreon, where you can give us as much or as little as you like. We will catch you on the rebound. Peace.